Morning. Today is 19th of June. So this is the one thing that is taking me to the grave, means I am making loss after loss. So the thing is not a new strategy. That is not creating a problem. The problem is with the trading of not a properly formed setup. So what I am doing is there are checkpoints, and in the checkpoints I am not following the rule absolutely. Like Fibonacci cluster I am following. In uptrend it is I am following trend line, I am following perfectly chart pattern, I am following perfectly trend also I am marking perfectly. But in 200 moving average I was doing one silly mistake that costed me everything. And also in correlation I am not checking properly. I need to check that with silver as well as Euro USD, and 100 candle rule I am following. So the problem is with 200 moving average. So what is the problem? The problem is, see this setup, it formed in so from here to this it is 193 bars. So let's go to 30 minute. So in 30 minute what can you see? Okay, let's talk about 15 minute also and 30 minute also. So the thing I am trying to say that 200 EMA. So one touch, two touch, three touch, four touch, 4.5, then it is falling. So as per your rules and as per your trading experience, there is a high tendency for the market to fall, right? But why you should not take this trade as a sell setup? Because the 200 means the price is not trading below the 200 EMA and 200 moving average. So that is the most important thing. You are trading against the T, means it has not crossed and you are taking the trade. That is the reason why you are losing the money. So that is the one important cause. And another cause is the close of the candle. See in 15 minutes also the close was above the trend line. So your job was to cut the position over here. So I have cut also. Then another thing, it is okay, this is means the close thing, and also with the moving average. So let me tell the moving average first. Moving average mistakes that happened was here. I means it didn't cross, but I said to myself it will cross after the breakdown, but it didn't. Because of that it went up. See in 15 minute also, 30 minute also, it has a very big gap. So there is a high tendency for the market to give a breakout in the bullish side, and I was full day shorting. And when it gave a buy movement, I was not prepared and didn't take the trade. I will come again later another thing for that opposite direction trade. So that is for that one. And see this acted perfectly because it was trading above the means why it went by because of 200 moving average, and in lower time frame also same condition. Then this is the trade. So let's go to 15 minute. In 15 minute, see this is forming a head and shoulder pattern, and it formed very perfectly. But the main culprit is 200 moving average, as it has not crossed. See the main purpose was means this 200 EMA, this setup would have worked very nicely if the moving average came like this and it formed like this, and that's time it might have went very nicely in upward direction. But as the moving average is over the price, that is why it didn't work nicely. Means important buyers were not interested in buying at these areas, and also it when it gave the cross, then it came down, it formed a doji. That shows that buyers are not at all interested in this area. So now, and another thing is I'm saw this trade and I didn't take this trade. One touch, two touch, three touch, and see, it took the liquidity. If you are entering early, you are wiped out in this game. But if you are entering after the wiping out, then you would have earned a lot of money. So this okay, let's mark this one and I will tell again later. So let's color this as blue and let's color this as blue. So these were the two things. So, and here see, it formed a very nice head and shoulder. Mm, again here also same thing, it formed a very nice pattern, but means inverse head and shoulder kind of pattern, but it didn't go because of the 200 moving average. When it would have crossed the 200 moving average, then there was a high chance it would have worked. Okay, and then left shoulder, head and shoulder, 200 moving average, it respected, but it didn't sustain here. If it had sustained over here, then it would have gone up. And another thing is, see, this setup is also not a good one, but it worked very nicely because it was trading with the 200 moving average. And this setup, this was the secret juice that I was missing, and I was not able to figure it out why I was losing in the market. So this was the trend line, and it formed above, means the chart pattern formed at middle of the 200 EM. So when it gave a breakdown of this area and a final close of a candle, then it fall down. Otherwise, when I was trying to be biased, see, another thing is here, see, three touch points are there. So it was not like this, it was like this: one touch, two touch, three touch, three and a half, and then there was a breakout. And also it worked somewhat, means little bit it worked because of the trend line, means 200 EMA, it was trading above the 200 EMA. See, here also it worked because of the trading above the 200 EMA. And here this trade is not formed perfectly, like 1 2 3. So 1 2 3, I was expecting a little bit of correction, but the correction didn't come and it fell. So the here also it worked perfectly. So this trade also it worked very nicely. See, um, 1 2 and 3 half. So if I have entered over here, I have kept my SL over here, still it was a very good winning trade. So that was there, and it was like this. So here also it gave a breakdown because it is trading out of the, this formed in 4 hour candle, not 4 hours, 3 hour, 1 2 360, 180. So 100, see, it is above the 200 moving average, And also another thing is, so let's get back to 1 hour time frame. Mm, so that was the one thing, and for the Fibonacci part, it acted very nicely because of the 200 EMA as a support. So that is one another thing. So this where was the part of the game? This trade also worked somehow somewhat nicely, but because of the war it went up like that. And here was the breakout, and that breakout also worked because of this 200 moving average. So this is the thing why I was losing heavily, because I was means the 200 moving average has not crossed yet, but I was telling to myself that it will cross after the breakout, but it doesn't happen like that. So in this is another type I will discuss later. See, in below 200 EMA, it is trading very nicely and worked very nicely, and this was trading above the 200 EMA. It worked somewhat nicely. Only exception is this kind of trades. Let's turn this into blue. See, this breakout, it worked nicely because it was trading above the 200 EMA. Worked nicely because below 200 EMA. So this is the thing why, and this setup also, this setup was not very perfect looking, but it worked very nicely because it was trading above the 200 EMA. This one at this area, and see here it mm, bearishness. It worked because of the 200 EMA market structure as well as the 200 EMA. Everything is working. Means if everything is there, then only it will work. Otherwise, it won't. So that was the thing, and see how silly the black pattern is, but it worked because it was trading above the 200 EMA, and this market is falling and falling. Okay, and another thing in Bitcoin. So in Bitcoin, what happened? Let's see this chart pattern. It formed at 15 minute. As it was trading below the 200 EMA, it worked very nicely. And another thing is this, my chart pattern also worked here nicely because of the 200 EMA. It crossed the 200 EMA and it worked very nicely. See, this also Fibonacci thing also worked nicely. But here comes the problem. So here you can see 100 candles. So perfect at 100 candle, it gave a breakdown. But as it was trading above the 200 moving average, it did not sustain, it went up. So 200 moving average is very important. And let's go to 15. See, this chart pattern also didn't form nicely, one touch, two touch. But the thing is, pattern inside pattern plus 200 EMA is there. That's why it worked very nicely. So now I want to tell you about the pin bar that forms after the breakout. See, when it is below the 200 moving average, the close is above at this region. Even though it hunt a good amount of liquidity, but this area has acted as a retest of this chart pattern, then it fell. Otherwise, if it has formed at this area, it would have trapped the sellers and then it would have gone up, but as it was trading below the 200 EMA, it worked very nicely. So like this thing, it happened at this area. Mm, blue color, this is silver. Mm, that false breakout thing I was talking about. See, this is where what I was talking. See, it gave a break. There is a huge number of sellers. Means if it would have failed, then huge number of buyers would have been trapped and sell-off would come. But what protected the buyers is this 200 moving average. Because see, after this breakout, okay, let's replay this one. See, the breakout came of this chart pattern, and as it is uh, trading above the 200 EMA, you could have taken a trade over here also, as this was the important Fibonacci zone. 62%. It acted as a resistance, it fell down, but as it was trading above the 200 EMA, it didn't trap the buyers. Instead, it helped the buyers to trade them easily. Then this trade Fibonacci 786 level. So in that also it didn't perform well. Uh, See, there is a breakout of three touch trend line. So the volume says that it had trapped all the buyers, because here is the general normal set SLs, stop loss. So here I took an entry because it will fall, but it didn't because of this 200 moving average. And next candle it see, it didn't form nicely, it just went up. So it came down, means a huge red candle, means more sellers got trapped, and after that it went up. This all happening because of the influence of the 200 moving average. So this is the thing that I was talking about. And similarly, like this thing happened over here, and no. So also means trap trading didn't work when I set the criteria of 200 moving average. But is this means it, suppose it gave a seller here, what will work? Seller's trap will work in buy direction, and if this 200 EMA is above, then it would have fallen down. So now let's go back to um, and I entered here, I exited over here, see how much it fell. Now what I want to say, trap trading done, Bitcoin, I said about this, it didn't work, means the seller trap didn't work because of the 200 EMA. 200 EMA pushed the price down more. Now I want to say about the seller trap thing. So this is a sell side pattern, right? It gave a breakdown, but the close, not even a single candle, gave a close below this area. If it had given a close below this area, then the sentiment might have changed. It fell, it grabbed the sellers who were waiting over here, and here it then just went up. So for this reason, against the trend you are trading, so here you can for funding account you can sell over here, and when it is proving that it trapped the sellers, then you could have used the funded account. And in this scenario you used funded account. For means funded account, first you are going with funded account. If it crossed above this and this, then you should add the in trap trading there is no fixed account, that funding account or funded account. But the thing is, if it is with the 200 EM, then you should give with your go with your money. If it is above and it is showing a sell setup like here, then you should go with funding account first. Then for when the trap gets activated, you should go with the funded account. This is the main thing you should remember. See, this thing also I will talk about in silver. In see, this setup is a B setup. I didn't take the trade over here because the only reason is I expected the price to go up little bit and then fall. But as this is forming above the 200 EMA, 200 moving average, you should take in the funding account, not funded account. So what I was wanting to tell about was at this area. See, this is a very big chart pattern. So it formed at 1 hour time frame. So in 1 hour time frame, this is the low, right? This is the low. Here, what you should have done, you should have taken the trade in funded account first. Means your money first. Why? Because it is trading below the 200 moving average. But you should be cautious when the close is not below this level. If the close was below this level, then you could have rested happily, but there was no close at below this level. And when should you cut your position? So you should cut your position right this or this area. Cut position, then again add position. And similar thing happened in gold metals. See, one touch, two, three, 3.5, and there is 100 candles, almost 100 candles, 80 candles, and also it is trading above the 200 area. So here you should put your own money and cut position line over here. If it is forming this type of, then you should take in your funding account. Funding account or your least favorite account that you are wanting to blow up. See why this trend line worked, because it is below 200 EMA moving average and also the close of the candle. That is why it worked in gold but it didn't work in silver. That's all for today. And Fibonacci, it is working. Need to do some more backtest and more data together. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.